Well, we do have breaking news on these jobs numbers, folks. New jobs numbers just out. These are the last Labor Department numbers that we're going to see before the election. So a lot is riding on these numbers. Now, we have a president of the United States who's under quarantine with coronavirus as these numbers hit. Now, normally you'd have Larry Kudlow and other members of the administration, Mark Meadows and others, all out there talking about how great these jobs numbers are in the Rose Garden, telling us all about it. But the story's a little different today. And you won't have the president holding a press conference, although the president is going to address the nation tonight to show off how good he's doing, I guess. We'll see how well he's doing with COVID. But these jobs numbers are not good. These jobs numbers can be spun any number of ways, but I'll give you the straight scoop. You can listen to conservative media tell you that they're good. You can listen to liberal media tell you that they're bad. I'll just give you the numbers and let you decide what they are. They rose by 661,000. That's well below the 800,000 that was estimated. Non-farm payrolls rose by 661,000 in September. That was lower again than these 800,000. The unemployment rate was 7.9%, which is slightly better than the 8.2% estimate. Again, this is the final jobs report number before Election Day. But let me give you my take on why I think that this is bad news. I think that it shows a slowing of the economy. I think that what is happening with this recovery is grinding to a halt. With a lack of meaningful stimulus, we're seeing thousands of people furloughed and losing their jobs permanently. Yesterday, right during our show, I had one of you who's a viewer write to me. You work in the airline industry, and you said it was so sad. Today, I had to say goodbye to 200 people. I have to say goodbye to 200 people that I work with. My job is over. The report comes, of course, amid a raft of mostly positive economic signals in the housing market and hiring. Hiring has been ticking up. But that is for higher paying jobs. That still does not account for the service sector, hotel employees and others who lost their jobs, who lost their health care, who are at the bottom, who do not make very much. I'm talking low wage workers. There's estimates this morning out of New York City that upwards of 50% of all restaurants could permanently be closed in New York City. There are, again, retail spending is up, online at least. Retailers are stockpiling as much money as they can right now on items for the holiday season because they don't know what's going to happen with China and our supply chain if we go into a second wave of coronavirus. Millions, though, still remain unemployed. We're still, folks, 800,000 to 1 million people per week are filing for unemployment. And CNBC and others want to paint a pretty picture, try to get you to feel all rosy about this. It's not good. That means that about 12 million jobs have been recovered since mid-March after 22 million layoffs. But we're adding to that number. So they need to start revising these numbers because they want to tell us that only 22 million people have been laid off, and yet we continue to add upwards of 1 million per week. And this does not include the over 30 million people who just are not even looking for work. They're not even in the system anymore. Their jobs are gone. And the airline industry, 40,000 airline jobs gone yesterday, and more coming because Congress couldn't get its thumb out of its butt and pass a meaningful stimulus package. So all of these people are without jobs. Yesterday, there was a tweet from a woman on an airline, American Airlines. This was her last flight. I'm going to play it in its entirety. It's about 2 minutes long. Just watch the whole thing. If you don't cry a little bit, your head's not screwed on right. It's pretty touching. She's on her flight, so it's a little background noise, obviously, on a flight, but she's making an announcement saying her goodbyes to everyone on the flight. Watch this.
I've already begun my next chapter. There are many of my coworkers who have not. And because of that, I ask that you please keep them in your thoughts during this time. This job was an escape for me after being unhappy with my job after graduating college. It was a job that awarded me many opportunities. A job that I fell in love with, I've been to places I never thought I'd have the opportunity to go, and places I never knew existed. I've met people from all walks of life, and I've made friendships that will last the rest of my life. To my family at American Airlines, thank you for taking a chance on me 2.5 short years ago. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to see this big world. To my amazing crew, I wish each of you the best of luck. We were told in training to be like palm trees, and this is the perfect example. We may bend, but we never break. Finally, I have one last request for each of you today. With so much happening in the world, you never know how small actions can impact the next person. Please be kind to one another, practice compassion with everyone, live with acceptance of yourself and others, and until I see you guys in the friendly skies again, please take care of yourself and your health. I hope all of you have a wonderful night, and again, thank you for flying with us.
Isn't that touching? So American Airlines employees saying her goodbyes. That's it. I'm done. I got to say goodbye. I'm out of a job. Young black woman gets this job out of college, starts her career, gets to see the world, out of a job. Because Congress can't do anything about it. President Trump doesn't do anything about it. And President Trump would rather spend his time on Twitter tweeting meaningless garbage than showing actual leadership in this country. So these jobs numbers, folks, I don't think that they're very good. This is, again, the final glimpse of these labor market numbers before Election Day. And it shows some job growth, but at a much slower pace, which means, so yes, we have some jobs numbers increasing, but they're slowing down. And when you add the slowdown with thousands more every day losing their jobs on top of that, this is what we get. This week was among one of the worst in recent history. I'll give you these numbers, with tens of thousands of workers laid off. 28,000 lost their jobs at Disney World. They're gone. Another almost 10,000 at Shell. Another couple thousand, almost 4,000 in the insurance industry at Allstate. The list goes on and on and on with these amount of layoffs, and they're only getting worse. Brian Rose, an economist at UBS, said this. He said, "This is not an environment for creating new jobs. The pandemic is still going. The economy is still in a very severe downturn. The bottom line, economists say this is going to take years before the labor market fully recovers." This is going to be years before the labor market fully recovers. So this is the thing that's fresh on people's minds. 32 days until Election Day. 32 days until Election Day. And the President of the United States has COVID, is under quarantine, can't campaign. These jobs numbers are pretty weak. Slowing recovery. Tens of thousands of people continue to lose their jobs, and no stimulus. How do you go to the polls and vote for that guy? I'm not saying Biden's any better. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying, when you look at what we've got available to us right now, this is our choice. You're going to go down there. I mean, right now, the Republican Party is spending upwards of $10 million to try to save Lindsey Graham's seat in South Carolina. He's run out of money, and he basically went on Fox News the other day and begged for money. On Fox News Live, he's like, "Please help me. Viewers of Fox, please donate money to me. I'm out of money." He had to beg Fox viewers to pay for him. And now the Republican Party is giving him about $10 million to try to see if he can win in South Carolina. Mitch McConnell is up for re-election. How do these guys survive? You know how they survive? They survive these elections because of all of the money, the corporate donors that basically buy votes, keep them entrenched because they know they will continue to take care of these donors while they're in office, continue to give them big corporate tax breaks and bailouts and the like. That's what's going to, it just continues. So these jobs numbers, let me know your thoughts on them. Smash the like button here and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Also, you can get more economic news and business news delivered right to your inbox every day. We have our daily newsletter, which goes out. Just go to morninginvest.com every day. We publish our newsletter. Here it is, delivered right to your inbox. It's totally free just by going to morninginvest.com. We write it every morning about the business news and economic news that I think matters to you. Plus, at the bottom of the newsletter, we have a rewards section. So when you share the newsletter with a family member and they sign up, you can see your dashboard, how many rewards you get. So you can get a mug, you can get hoodies. That's right. So all of it right there in the newsletter. So my thanks to you for subscribing to the newsletter.